Alright, we're going to start where we left off with the rear triangle, and we're going to focus on these brackets here. There's only one visible right now, so let me show you what I have. In the layers panel, you may have the triangle bottom on, since that was the last one that we did. So you just want to toggle that one off, and then make sure that your current layer is the 3D rear triangle. That's where all of this yellow stuff is. And we're going to be focused on this bracket first. So the first thing we're going to do is move this to the current layer. We're going to use the command laycur, L-A-Y-C-U-R, short for layer current. So we're going to click that tool, select all the shapes for this bracket, press enter, and it should turn yellow, or the color of the layer for the rear triangle solids. Since we have this now, we're going to turn off the frame. So you want the, where is it? Rear triangle. Triangle rear is what it's called. And then we can clean up our drawing by deleting any of these lines that are just in the way. Just select those lines and delete them. We're done with all of these lines as well, so I'm just going to delete the ones that are in the way for now. And then we're going to move this shape up 70 units to match with our solid. So we're going to select these, and there's two ways to do this. If you see this little widget, as it's called, you can simply click on the arrow in the direction that you want to move. In this case, we want to move in the Z, which is the blue arrow. So you click on the tip of that arrow and see that's going to be moving in that one direction. You can just specify 70, enter. Now if you don't have that, you're going to have to use the move tool. Then select your objects, enter. It's asking for a base point, which is where you're going to be grabbing the objects. It doesn't really matter where you grab them from. Just want to click anywhere here, and then you'll need the polar tracking on, which allows your cursor to snap to the Z axis. So you want polar Z, then type in the value 70, enter. Those are two different ways to move an object. The first way is much easier, so if you have that, you could use that. I'm just going to delete that. Alright, so now we notice that this solid does not extend far enough to reach the bracket. So eventually this bracket's going to be attached to this. It's all going to be a solid. So we need to fill in this gap. We're going to use a tool found on the Home tab called Extrude Faces. We're going to click on that and then hover over the face that you want to extrude, which is this one here. You're going to click on it. That's not the right one. We're going to click again and then hold the shift key down. Let's see. Let's try that again. There we go. We're done selecting surfaces that we want to extrude, so we're going to press enter to accept that. Now it's asking for the height of the extrusion. We're going to type in 7 and then enter. Specify angle of taper for extrusion. The preset is 0. We're not going to have a taper for this, so we're just going to press enter. So now that's extended far enough to meet our bracket. The next thing we want to do is trim this bracket. And we're going to use this line here as our trimming line. And for solids, this is called slicing. So you trim surfaces, you trim lines, but you slice solids. Think about slicing butter. So we're going to go to the Solid tab, choose the Slice tool, And then it is asking us to select the object we want to slice, which is this one here. Press enter. And then specify start point of slicing plane. So it could be anywhere along this line. There are a couple of places where you can snap. There's an end point there, or an intersection. So we're going to click on that. And then specify the opposite line, so you could just click on this one here. So it has already sliced it for you. Now it's asking specify a point on desired side. So it's asking you which side of the solid that you just sliced do you want to keep. So you just click on the side you want to keep, or if you're not sure, you can select keep both sides. And then you can select the one you want to delete and then press delete. I know I want to keep this side, so I'm going to click anywhere on this side. That has gotten rid of the other part of the solid. Alright, now we're going to focus on modeling these parts here. We're going to extrude this because let's go ahead and make sure we join all of this shape together. So this outline should be all one polyline, and right now there's a bunch of little pieces. So we're going to use the join command, join, enter, and select all the different pieces for this polyline. Then press enter. Now you should have one polyline. There's an inner and an outer shape. And then we also have this curvy shape here. Let's start with this one. And we're going to extrude this as a solid. And we want to extend it far enough to where it encompasses the whole pipe that we extruded for the triangle. So it needs to be a height that will cover that. I'm going to do 7. Enter. That looks good. So that's only half of this solid. So I want to extrude this face down. Whoops. I'll extrude face. So go to the Home tab, extrude the face. Select that face. I have to remove this one. I was selecting way too many faces. Let's escape out of that. Okay, let's try that again. We could use press pull. Press pull is very tricky. That's why I prefer to use extrude faces. Let's just try this one again. Extrude faces. Try to select this face here and only that face. There we go. Enter. We've done this before, so we're going to specify 7. Enter. No taper. Press enter again. And we're done there. Press escape. So that's one solid in our bracket. Now this solid here, we want to have just the outer shape as a solid, not the inner. So we're going to have to do a region first. So we're going to do region. And we're going to make both of these regions. Enter. Now we need to subtract the inside region from the outside. So we're going to use subtract. Enter. And now down here it's specifying we're supposed to select solid surface and region to subtract from. In other words, which part do you want to keep? We want to keep the outside part. Enter. Now it's saying select the region to subtract from that. So we want to subtract the inner region. Enter. Now that you have a region, we can extrude this region. Go to the solid tab, extrude, select this region, enter, and we are going to go down 4. You should have a shape like this. Now, this will make sense later, but we need to move this shape down 2 units to make some space for the meat of a sandwich that we're going to create. So this is just one bun. So we're going to move this down 2, enter. Now we're done with this bracket. We're going to union all of this together. So these are all solids. We're going to use Surf Sculpt to make all of this one solid. Alright, now that's all one solid piece. Whoa, where are we? So now I'm going to focus on the other bracket.